Hello, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackblade, and today we are talking about Satisfactory. Specifically, I want to go into what did I learn from the ultimate Let's Play, the 1.0 Let's Play that I did. We got 17 episodes in, I think, and then I had to cancel that season, I guess, because the interest dropped off on the viewer side so much that I couldn't continue. So let's talk about it. First, please help by subscribing, liking, commenting, doing all that stuff. But the first point that I have that I want to bring up is I vastly underestimated the scale of what I was trying to do on a visual level. I haven't done a lot of visual builds up until this point. I've done a lot of visual small stuff, but not at this scale. And I completely misread the time it takes to make a good looking build, and it's way longer than it takes to make a functioning build. So that's something that I completely underestimated. And it's something that I need to work on in terms of like what blueprints I make and design and like all that kind of stuff. But making a functional factory, relatively fast, relatively easy. Making a good looking factory takes 3 times as long. I honestly learned a lot about how to deal with viewer feedback, and I learned how to incorporate things. I did a lot of streaming in this city particular, in Clearhaven. I did a lot of streaming, and I learned how to deal with that feedback, even if it was given in an aggressive manner or whatever it was, trying to turn that into something positive and something that made the, like, Let's Play better, and that made the series better without just dismissing it, and without going over the top into, oh yeah, they don't like it, I need to fix this. Trying to merge our vision, so to speak. I think I learned a lot about when it came to that part. A really big thing that I learned was the fact that, like, when it came to, specifically when it comes to fluid dynamics, I think I can confidently say that there is no actual version, there's no project, there is no setup that I can't make run at 100% efficiency. I'm also aware that I am doing that by not necessarily saying nuh-uh to when coffee stains, that's a bug, we haven't fixed that yet. Like, sorry, here's a workaround. Like, using the workaround is what you gotta have to do right now, and I think that a lot of people don't like that, and they don't do it, and because of that, it doesn't work. I'm not saying that the fluid dynamics should work that way, and I'm not saying that they're not finicky, I'm not saying they are not weird, and sometimes you have weird problems that pop up that shouldn't pop up. Like, you've done it before like that and it worked and now it doesn't work for some reason. Like, it's very, very finicky. But I think that because of... there's a level of scrutiny that happens towards me because I am putting it out as videos. And, like, there's a scrutiny in terms of, like, the visual design. There's a scrutiny towards, like, are those straight belts or straight pipes? There's also a scrutiny towards, have you actually made this function, right? And yes, I've had to make everything function. I've had to go through and do and redo everything over and over again until I figure out exactly how it works. In the update 8 Let's Play, I did an aluminium processing plant that, or bauxite to aluminium processing plant that I tried to do a recycling loop that I never got to work properly. Like, I did at the end, but the ultimate conclusion to that was don't do recycling loops for your stuff. Just don't. It's just going to give you a headache. And until we get something like priority mergers or priority splitters junctions for pipes, that's no, just no. And the thing is that there's a lot of mechanics in the game that's kind of the same way as the fluids, where you kind of have to go with the quirkiness of the game to enjoy it. And I think that, not on my part, but there was a lot of people popping up in streams or in comments who were displaying a lot of frustration with some of the mechanics and everything. And specifically when the mechanics didn't have a certain level of like flexibility or variability, but something that you gotta understand, and that's something that I reconcile, and that's why I can enjoy the game, is that Coffee Stain Studios are designing a specific experience based on a vision of an experience that they have. And they are not consulting you, me, or anyone else for that vision. It's more, they have a vision, and if people agree with that vision, if they like the concept of that vision, they will probably like the game. But here's the thing, it is okay if you don't. And I think I had a lot of people popping up in the stream that had a really hard time dealing with that. So yeah, I think I learned a lot. I think I learned a lot about the game through the people that didn't like the game. I think that's the best way to put it. And that happened a lot throughout the Let's Play. I got a lot of comments. I got my first death threat on a Ultimate Let's Play video. So, yeah, that's cool. That means I'm famous now, right? Another big mistake that I made was I tried to scale up and build permanent structures way too early. I have learned, and I honestly think that the point at which you can start really building permanent structures, permanent infrastructure, permanent whatever, is when you've gotten to the point where you've unlocked trains, where you've unlocked Mark IV belts, and all that kind of stuff. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I noticed that I spent almost like 150, almost 200 hours with Mark III belts and Mark I miners, and what I did notice was everything was just crap. Like, the scale of effort versus how much I was getting out of it did not make sense. And the amount of time I was spending on things did not make sense. The only thing that would have made sense would have been like, I actually finished the first city in like the first 5 episodes, and then I started the next city. That's what should have happened. But because I was so slowed down because of what my tech level was, I couldn't. And I think the absolutely best representation that I have in the game right now of something that takes way too long, it is what we're looking at right now. We're looking at Mornrock, and specifically what's behind that wall. And it is a plastic rubber recycling loop setup that makes no sense to make at all before you have the Mark III what's it called, blueprint designer. I spent 3 or 4 episodes just making this damn loop. I hit the object limit for the game and had to mod the engine.ini file to be able to continue, because it took so damn long and used so much resources. This is the setup, and it is insane how much time I spent setting all of this up. And it would have been so much faster if I just went like, nah, I'm making a basic plastic setup, whatever I need for this, and then I'm saving the loop setup for when I have Mark V belts or Mark VI belts, and I have the Mark III blueprint designer and all that kind of stuff. And I would be able to just go balls to the wall crazy with stuff. Not now. This makes no sense. there are a few visual details. I feel like I very much came to find my visual style. The floor down here, I love that floor. The floating crystal designs, the like neon green, like crystal punk almost. I don't know what to call it. Style. I love that. But in general, this whole visual or this whole like setup I should not have built at this point in the game. Maybe not even ever in the save. I did not need it. And it was I can't call it anything other than a vanity project. Something happened. I don't know, like I didn't notice it happening, but there became kind of like an obsession with scale. Like big thing equal good. But just because it's big doesn't mean that it's impressive. And I have pretty much gone the other direction now with the new Let's Play. And I'm trying to figure out... Like, I guess I'm trying to learn how to make something small that can still be visually impressive and give me enjoyment. Like, I love playing the game, don't get me wrong. But, I want something that gives me enjoyment from the process of building it and designing it and that kind of stuff. And there comes a point, like with this water setup, where all you're doing is repetitive motions. Like it's literally just you doing the same thing over and over again, ad nauseum. And sure, it can look cool when it's done, but like the process of building it gets incredibly monotonous. And I think that it contributes to getting bored of the game. Not necessarily bored. I think that just you are creatively, like your creative energy, it's like you're finished with this build long before you have finished building it, because it's already been processed and gone through everything it needs to in your head. And like, in a cheesy way, in your heart. So that by the time you are done with the build and actually built it in the game, you were done with it creatively hours and hours and hours and hours ago. And I think that that kind of strips away a little bit of your energy and your ability to continue enjoying the game. And or at least that's the way it worked for me. So that's something that I learned, and I really think that's an important detail to keep in mind when doing these things. So I think all in all, the most important things that I've learned from this game is what I enjoy doing and what I don't enjoy doing. I've also learned what my time limit is for my brain and, once again, a little cheesy, my heart, to kind of get finished creatively with a build. And that also gives me a scale of like how long can I spend on this build before I'm done with it. So I can plan and scale things based on that. So I don't try to overstay my welcome creatively. I also, like, I've learned so much from you guys. And I'm not even joking, like, about the game, about myself, I have seen an insanely supportive and great community grow up on my Discord, in my comments and everything, around this game. And I think it's really, really cool to get to be a part of that. And I am looking forward to seeing you guys react to everything coming up in the future. And I'm really looking forward to what crazy shenanigans we will get up to together. So either way, thank you so much. I think that's it. I think there's more I've learned. I think it's just very hard for me to put that into words in a way that makes sense on a video. So I thank you so much for being here. And if you have any notes, if something you picked up or if there's something like I said that you feel like, oh, I have notes on this, I have thoughts, I have ideas, or whatever, then put them in the comments. Come to Discord and have a conversation, like whatever it is. I would love to hear your thoughts. And with that said, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for being here. And if you remember to like, subscribe, comment, do all the cool YouTuber stuff, then I love you for it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great one, everyone. Bye!